always told me I was cute.
Welcome back to Did They Game It? On today's show, we're going to be reviewing South Park for the N64. I'm your host, Michael, and my guest today isn't Sean. My guest is Monty.
Hi, everyone. Long-time listener, first-time podcaster.
Monty's the original pug and actually came up with that nickname. And it took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit to know why you said that.
Yeah, I think it's just a stroke of genius on my part, so kudos to me.
Yeah, afterwards I just thought, okay. I don't have plans. It could be called whatever.
You're gonna have to go back to the Rocky episode to find out why we're pugs.
Yeah, I thought you just meant the dog. And then it took me a little bit, and then I thought, oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
So, South Park, big fan?
Yeah, I was raised by television, and so of the shows that I watched consistently as a kid were The Simpsons, South Park, King of the Hill. So those were always in rotation. So everything I know about popular culture really comes from those shows.
You still got a cartoon show that you watch today?
Not really. I mean, I've just been watching a lot of old Simpsons. It's a happy place for me. But I haven't watched too much South Park until you asked me to come on. Then I reviewed the movie, and I have to say it holds up.
I haven't watched South Park consistently. I had to go and check like episodes to see what was familiar. And 2010 or 11 looks like when I clocked out on that one. And Simpsons, yeah, I used to watch that as a kid all the time. I still watch King of the Hill. But yeah, I reviewed South Park. I went and watched some of my favorite episodes, and they still hold up for me. But some of the other ones are pretty hit or miss.
Yeah, sometimes they're a little bit like, this is beyond its time. I don't even know how they got away with it during then, but that was like part of the charm of South Park was it is edgy. It's doing something so different. And then you learn new awful things to say at recess, and now you're the cool kid in fourth grade.
I think that was the thing, the peer pressure of high school. Like
Yeah.
the next day, it was kind of like when with like Chappelle Show and shows like that, where people would quote it, and then it's like, oh, you don't watch this show, and kind of the peer pressure of having to watch it so you get what they're talking about.
Entirely, like that's part of it too. I think you kind of aimed like you stopped watching it around when you after you graduated high school, and I'm the same way. It's like there's nothing here for me anymore. Who am I trying to impress with dirty words?
Yeah, I think it's because the edginess too nowadays. Like even with, I mean, you open up Instagram, you're gonna see something edgier on there than South Park used to be. And I think, yeah, looking at it, I kind of just, yeah, it's not as funny as I remember, except for the episodes that I liked.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it too, where shows that were on syndication, they'd just be running 24/7. So you're like, oh, South Park, I'll put that on. Or, oh, let me just jump in wherever this is. And you're going to watch the same episodes over and over, and they just become second nature at some point.
So, do you have a favorite character?
Yeah, I do really enjoy Stan for some reason. I just identify with Stan.
I like Butters.
Butters isn't in the movie. He's
I
shown in the
know.
movie, but he doesn't have any speaking lines.
Yeah, I haven't watched the movie. I don't think since it came out, which was kind of uncomfortable because we watched that with the family.
Yeah.
Uh, because we didn't have cable. Like I didn't have cable until I was 14. So I would just mostly watch it at other people's house, and I think one time I rented it from the local library. Like, I think they had them for free at the library.
Well, like that's how I got into this show. So very early on, like don't raise your children this way at all, but it's just because it's a cartoon, still check and verify that's suitable, especially nowadays. But I remember renting the movie from Blockbuster, and I was in third grade, so what, 9 years old, and I watched it on repeat every single day until I had to turn it back, and then I asked to rent it again because it's just that impactful on my life.
Yeah, I remember I went to my grandma's and they had cable, and my grandpa was like, "Can you see the shit he's watching? Look at this." And it was one where like Charlie Manson was on there. And my grandma was like, "They let him watch it at home. Let it go." They didn't let me watch it at home. We didn't have cable. But yeah, that's why watching it with the family was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, if they really actually knew what South Park was, I think they knew the name from like the news, but it's one of those things like, oh, this is just a cartoon with at the time very like terrible graphics. Like that's kind of like characteristic of them. But it's like, oh, what's the harm in this? This their age. How bad could it be?
Yeah, I think I like Butters because I always like the straight character or the character that doesn't really fit in the whole scene of everything. Do you have a favorite episode? Or is it the movie your favorite thing of it?
Yeah, I really like the movie, and it is a musical, which is kind of strange because I don't like musicals typically, but it's really well put together. And obviously, if you're watching it every single day, you're gonna have a lot of memories, strong memories, part of it. But as far as like a favorite episode, I'm not too certain. It would depend which one I'd have to go back and watch, but I really haven't watched the show recently.
Yeah, like I think I've only seen probably two or three since like 2011. But I think my favorite one still, like I watched it the other day, was the Losing Edge, the one where they try to lose the baseball game so they don't have to play anymore. Like that one still got me to laugh. But then some of the ones in between, I didn't care.
Yeah, that's the one with Bat Dad, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that one still gets repeated. Like South Park is part of popular culture and it dominates in so many different ways.
Well, it still has the classic line that you see under Instagram comments. The I thought this was America. This isn't America anymore.
Yeah.
Like I still always see that one, and I kind of forgot that it came from that episode. So, and that one was like that was a while ago, like almost 20 years ago. It was a long time
Isn't that
ago.
crazy? Yeah, it's been the second since that one came out, and it really kind of grew traction kind of like years after it because again, it's like you would go to high school and you'd watch South Park and then after that it's like, well, no one's really watching it. I don't even know who's watching it nowadays.
No, I still hear people like they bring it up and they bring up an old episode or say something from one of the old ones. And yeah, a few weeks ago I got asked that, "You ever see South Park?" Because it was some guy I didn't know. And we were just like in a car together going to play basketball. And he kept asking, he just kept doing movie quotes in general and
Oh,
asking, like, "You know what that's from?" I didn't know there was going to be a quiz.
that's tough.
It,
That's a tough hang.
it is. And then, like, I almost didn't want to tell him I've seen South Park because he just kept going. it
Please stop.
really was because I would just go, yeah.
Well, I think that's what's the funny part now is like South Park is everyone's favorite character is Randy Marsh, Randy Marsh. But it's like when the show started, he was just a normal geologist, which is a very funny job for a character to have. And then now he's just like morphed into this crazy omnibus character and he just does anything and everything and he's the star of the show.
It seems like every show, like cartoon or real, always has that if it lasts too long, where like some character just becomes like more and more ridiculous or idiotic. I don't know. I just fell out of it and I don't miss it when I rewatched it. The episodes are good that I like, but yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, I watched like the most recent season just because it's part of who I am is like watching that show. I'm like, I'll still watch it. I don't watch the new Simpsons. I want to make that very clear. But I will say, like, watching the movie again recently, I'm like, this show has changed drastically. It used to be like, end every show with like, oh, I learned something important today after like a horrible premise of something awful going wrong. And it's like, well, there's actually like a moral to this, and it's kind of like tongue in cheek to like shows from the '80s.
I just don't feel that vibe off it anymore. And I don't know. I know some people might think because politics or whatever, and it is, but not the reason you think. It's just I don't want to see that in every aspect of my life.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because the movie also is it is about politics in America is like identity politics of like blaming some straw figure, Canada in this case. And it's like, oh, they're just bad people and it's really about like freedom of speech going on. But you can like what's great about the movie is like if you're on the left, you can blame the right, and if you're on the right, you're like, oh, that's totally the left. And I think that was the charm of South Park is like everyone's crazy. Let's just kind of like move past this and like can we like laugh about this and make it a fun show.
Well, yeah, like when we're talking about, I'm fine with like a joke. But when the whole premise is always going to revolve around any politics, I think it's just low hanging fruit comedy wise because I see it everywhere now.
Yeah, it's a crutch, and yeah, it's honestly gotten so exhausting over the past 10 years. It's like that's why I'd like to see something like the movie again, where it's just a general like take on kind of stuff going on, but not so direct. Where it's like I don't want to be reminded of this. I just kind of like want to escape for a while.
Yeah, especially now with like Instagram, social media in general, all that. I get it everywhere. Like I just want to check out. I mean, even with sports, you hear it every once in a while, and it's like I don't want to do this.
Well, like jokes in general now are just reference to thing meme this, meme that, and it's nothing's like there used to be like the great thing about Simpsons. This is talking a
Y-
lot about the Simpsons on a South Park episode, but like they would craft really funny jokes. Like we were watching before this episode, I was like, oh yeah, it's like this is something totally unique. It's like iconic, and like this is of this episode.
Yeah, I think you're always going to do that. Compare any cartoon, The Simpsons are usually going to get brought up at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the original.
My brain is rotted by The Simpsons, so this was definitely something I wanted to do because I like the South Park game and I avoid all the Simpsons games.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start getting into those.
Good luck. Good
I
luck.
I know. From the ones I remember, they weren't that great. I think I didn't get the good one anyway. Which was it? Hit and Run or
Oh, yeah, Hen Run's good.
was that the good one?
Yeah, Hen Run's the one, I think, if I'm remembering. One's like Taxi Cab Driver or
Road
wherever that game
Rage.
is. Road Rage, that's the one. That Road Rage is good, and so's the other one, which is like Grand Theft Auto and The Simpsons. Both very fun. So I can't take it back. But like the games that we were growing up with, like on the N64 and the Sega, like they were just like so difficult.
Because I rented one and then people told me I rented the wrong one. Out of Road Rage and Hit and Run. I don't know which one I got, but they told me I got the wrong one.
No, but this South Park game was actually really good, and we played a little bit before recording. And yeah, the controls are wonky, but it's better than playing like GoldenEye. GoldenEye is so frustrating to play.
I'm not gonna. I played GoldenEye a couple weeks ago because I was thinking about reviewing that one, and I didn't want to replay the campaign. South Park, I put it in and started replaying the campaign. It still holds up, and the N64, it's kind of like riding a bike to me. Like I get right back into the controls once I start playing, but that was like my system growing up, and like Sean when he played it with me, he was not getting it.
Yeah, if you didn't grow up with it, because it's a strange controller. Like they avoided that for the rest of the time. It seems like it's like we're never going back to wherever these three controls for your two hands are. But yeah, once you start playing, it wasn't that bad. It definitely took me a second, and then once we got going, I was like, oh, this isn't so bad.
I still love the controller. Yeah, I'm a fan of like it doesn't well, it does get talked about, but not in a favorable light. I think I'm one of the only people that says that like I really enjoy the controller.
It's really good for games like Super Smash Brothers. I think it's great. NFL Blitz is great, but first person shooters, it just you need the second joystick.
Yeah. I well that aiming is a problem in this. Like when
Yeah.
you have a lot like especially when you have some characters on the ground and some in the sky, without the second analog stick, it is pretty difficult to aim. Like I was having a hard time with that. But it's also a crappy control. I swapped out controllers and then I got a lot better. But so that's the thing
Blame the
because
controller.
some N64 games you can play with the loose joystick. This one, it's like, no, you have to have a good joystick because when I was playing with the loose one, I was missing a lot and getting killed.
Well, what's funny is like playing those games. I remember growing up, I'm like, oh, I am a dead shot on these things, and now like they advanced the technology with like the Xbox controller and the PlayStation controllers. Like this is how first person shooters are supposed to be played, and like move the camera around. Because even Mario 64, Like it's like a
Oh
weird
yeah.
rotating, and it gets weird for me. So even those games are difficult for me to go back to.
Yeah, that one's still a little difficult. Like when you get into those corners and the camera won't go right.
Yeah.
This one kind of has that, but not as bad. But speaking of control, I think the Xbox one is the only one I didn't like. Um,
Why?
I just wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't like the way it handled.
Really? Because it is bigger, it's clunkier. I felt that way about the PlayStation. It just the something about it just didn't match my hands very well.
See, I love the PlayStation one. That's one of my favorites. It's old, reliable. I
Yeah.
like how they stuck with it.
Well, were you a PlayStation guy after the N64?
Yeah, because of the DVD player. That was the only way
Uh,
I could convince my family to get it.
Gotcha. Because I had like allegiance to N64. I'm like, this is my brand. I will never go PlayStation. And I was like, I'm Xbox all the way.
Now looking back, I did want a GameCube, but I couldn't get it because it was just the DVD was my selling point to my dad. Because it was like you just got an N64 and it's like 2 or 3 years ago. But so yeah, I had to be like it plays DVDs and then he looked into it and I was able to get it. I did want a GameCube just because of Luigi's Mansion.
I have a hot take. I'm glad I missed the GameCube. There's nothing really on there where I'm like, man, I wish I had that. And it felt like such a baby console. I'm like, I'm a big boy. I don't need a GameCube. I want the Xbox.
Well, that's another reason why I didn't get the GameCube was because I got shit on at school for the N64 because everybody's like, "Why would you pick that over a PlayStation?" It's like I liked it. You could still get like Resident Evil 2 and South Park and games like that on it, and I liked Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's back when like console wars were
Oh
vicious.
yeah.
Like Nintendo just edged out Sega. Like Sega Genesis, like I don't know who played the Dreamcaster, but like I don't know anyone that owned it. And we had a Sega Genesis just because that's my older brother had that. And so we had all those games, but it's like other than that, it's like it kind of died out after what the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah, it I think it was basically wiped out in like 2000 because that's when the or 2001, yeah, that's when the PlayStation 2 came out and basic if Dreamcast would have got the DVD player, I think it would have lived.
Yeah.
It probably would have Xbox probably wouldn't have taken off out of the two of them because I think it would have just been those two for the DVD player.
Yeah.
And I was a big Sega fan too. I had both of them growing up, that and a Super Nintendo. And Sega still holds up. I like that controller too.
Yeah, it's a good controller, but again, it's side scrollers, which they're not my favorite, but I still enjoy the games because they still kind of hold up. They're difficult. It's just a different era of gaming. You kind of have to just, for me at least, be in the mood to actually play those side scrollers.
Yeah. Well, you can see by the setup. I just
Yeah, I know. I should have looked at my audience on this one and said, "Oh yeah, this guy has every side scroller. What am I doing here?"
I got the last laugh on the N64 PlayStation thing. All the games that I have are worth more because I kept them in the box. Like everyone that I bought when I was younger still has the box and everything.
Yeah, for the listeners at home, he has an impressive setup. I was just kind of admiring everything and taking a look, and he's a professional. He has actually the box for the South Park game, and we're looking at it and kind of discussing the artwork on the front.
Well, yeah, and I'm the type of guy where I'll look at something like a meal from fast food or a restaurant and be like, but I could buy this game for that money. Am I that hungry? And then just have a sandwich at home. But then I'll buy like then I'll look online to see like what can I buy as a replacement for that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's psychotic.
I wouldn't want you any other way.
So game holds up, right?
Yeah, yeah. Game holds up. We played a little bit, as I already mentioned. I remember renting this as a kid, and no one wanted to play with me. That was the unfortunate part. And so I just kind of wandered the multiplayer alone. I was like, oh, this is neat because it's like you're living in South Park. Again, the graphics are bad, but it's like immersive. And I thought they did a really good job for the brief campaign of like having characters from the shows with the original lines, not just like redubbing the same lines from episodes. And so it was impressive.
And for a game that's kind of ignored, I think it's pretty good. It looks like there was a lot of time put into it in detail. It's not a short game. I enjoy that. That this is actually not a very difficult game. It's like middle of the road difficulty, I'd say, but it's long enough where it's definitely like worth buy. If I would have bought that full price as a kid, I would have been happy with it. And that was a problem with some of those games. It was more of a Super Nintendo era problem, was the making it extremely difficult just so you don't get to the end, and it's only like a 30 or 40-minute game. This game is a few hours,
Yeah.
and you will die some. I mean, maybe people are a lot better than me at it, but it's like, yeah, I died quite a few times, especially at the end. But it's like, yeah, no, worth the price of admission.
Oh yeah, I had to turn on the cheats because it was, I mean, again, it's kind of difficult. They just have these swarms of turkeys raiding you from all directions, which is kind of fun. But like you're running through South Park, you run and collect your other character friends from the episodes or the show, and you end up like progressing. And there's a story. What impressed me was when they started the second level, and you start the second level, and then you approach a house, and now there's another cutscene with no loading, and that's something I always held over people that like the PlayStation. Like, well, there's no loading in N64.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that.
Yeah, something how the cartridge is made up, and I don't know, something about CDs.
Yeah.
Let's call it if you're a nerd. Let us know how that works.
Something technical. Yeah, but like the weapons are fun too.
Yeah, they're creative. They're super creative. Yeah, everything's kind of like originally made and tailor made for this game. I was just super impressed. And again, like characters taking damage make funny sounds, and like not just the same one. It's like, oh, I've heard this a million times. It's like it varies. So I thought they did an excellent job.
What was your favorite weapon?
I really like the one that shoots the cow and then just falls onto the player's head. And not only does the person shooting it get to see the cow on the person's head, but the character with the cow on them, it like blurs out the screen. It's kind of like pinkish red, and it's really gross.
I like the alien one where it's like basically shoots out like a signal and it makes them dance. And while they're dancing, they're basically paralyzed, so you can just keep hitting them over and over. And yeah, they get the little pink face and start singing and dancing.
Yeah, I
Good
think
stuff.
I think they made like a lot of references to like because this came out in the second season. Yeah, the second season of South Park. So that like everything's just a reference to the first season of South Park.
Yeah, and there's I think it was 6 levels. Like there was the turkey one, there was a clone one, aliens where cows just attack you, they control the cows, then robots, and then I think the toys. I don't think I'm missing any.
Yeah,
Alien, yeah, I said that.
yeah, I think they just had a lot of fun with this. And again, it's like they had one season and then instantly they made the game. And I think the same time they made the movie, which is very impressive.
Yeah. No, it took the world by storm.
Really did. I'm pretty sure all carnivals still have South Park characters from the
Oh
90s.
yeah.
Like they just mass produced in Korea somewhere.
Dude, yeah, I remember that. Just open it up and check out the date on the newspaper inside of it and see what
Yeah.
it's. Dude, some of those felt like crap.
I was always so jealous. I'm like, oh man, I want a big Eric Cartman.
I I never like won any, but I remember like feeling one that was kind of hanging over it. And it's like, dude, this is not stuffed. This is just newspaper.
Just imagine you rushing into it, trying to like do it while he's looking away. It's like, let me just grope this doll.
Dude, I was always the cheap little kid. Is this worth my time?
No, it's never worth it at all. But I was always very jealous when I go over to a friend's house and it's like, you have Kenny? What?
I did win a bunch of Luigi's in Santa Cruz though. Those are quality.
He's the lesser Mario brother, in my opinion. He must have gotten second place in this Carney prize.
Dude, yeah, I got it. I usually don't play those games, but when I saw they had like 3 different Luigi, like they're like 18 inches, and they didn't want a lot of points for them.
Those games are really just gambling for children. It's like, let me get another crack. Come on, man. Yeah, men in their 30s in Santa Cruz.
I found one bucket ball game where it like drops the balls and you just try to catch them in the bucket, and I just had it timed in my head where I like would just count and I got it every time. I thought they were gonna come over like I was a card counter. and pull the cord.
You have a reading. This guy's cheating at all the games. Get him out of here. Get him out of here now.
Actually, it did feel like if somebody did come over and just watch me,
Come with us.
it just Rain Man. Yeah, no, I don't. I bought it at Blockbuster for $30 or $20, which that's something that like I always regret. I didn't buy more of those games with my allowance at Blockbuster when they're out there.
We didn't know. We wish we had more time. We thought we had more time, but we didn't. What'd you think of the game?
Oh, I really love it. It still holds up. It's one of my favorite N64 games. What about you?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. It's definitely memorable. When you said, "Hey, we're gonna look at this game," I'm like, I have good memories of it. And I was like, I haven't played in like 2 decades or greater, and I was like, I'm gonna need a refresher first. But yeah, it more surprised by how good it was. I was expecting, most video games that are based off of shows are really just, grabbing the cash and go. But this one really seemed like they put a lot of effort and cared about the fan service.
I think, yeah, I was kind of worried that I was gonna play it and be disappointed. That's with GoldenEye kind of happened, where I thought, this is not as good. Like, I kind of knew that was gonna happen, but I thought, yeah, this does not play like I remember. And then with South Park, I was kind of worried, but no, it still holds up. The two player is still fun. I mean, yeah, it was just seemed natural getting back into it, like and playing on the N64 and stuff. And then the character dialogue is still funny. Like I don't laugh out loud, but it makes me smirk.
Yeah, I think there's just so many comparisons to GoldenEye, which there's probably other first person shooters for the N64, but like this one's probably like the second most popular that's first person shooter, if I had to guess. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Personally, for me, well, it'd probably be my number one
Oh, well.
because yeah, GoldenEye. Maybe it's because I played GoldenEye too much. Like because that was the thing. Anytime you went to somebody's house with an N64, they had GoldenEye, and that was always the two-player thing for a sleepover. And yeah, no, I think I like South Park better.
But like even comparing it again to GoldenEye for the campaign, GoldenEye you just go through and there's like text. And it's like, well, I hope you watch the movie because this is kind of following the movie. But at least in the South Park game it's an original story. There's cuts, there's cinematics, there's new lines and dialogue in it. So, yeah, GoldenEye kind of like skims its way through. Like they didn't ask Pierce Brosnan to like do any voiceovers. And South Park, yeah, they did every single character. There's characters to unlock. Is really good.
Well, yeah, and then when it came out, like because like you said, you avoided games based on movies and shows because usually they were garbage. But that's my whole life now. No, but this one, it seemed like they put a lot of time and care into it, making it an actual enjoyable experience for people. I don't know how much time they spent on it since, I mean, the show had only been out for a year or two. So, yeah, I don't know how long it took them, but they did a really good job in that small time frame.
Yeah, I don't know where they found the time either because they just finished season 1. They're starting season 2. They made this video game and the movie, and I listened to the commentary on the movie, and it just sounded like their lives were living hell trying to get everything done. And they're like, we don't think this show's gonna last much longer, so we're gonna go out with a bang. And then it's still going.
So, you have a South Park story?
Yeah,
Maybe.
this is the third grade story.
Okay, go
Cut that.
ahead. Sorry, I didn't.
This is why we do rehearsal.
I see. I don't.
Yeah.
No, I had the like a story that happened at a party,
Oh yeah.
and it's a little risque story, but you remember we talked about him earlier. You've met him.
Yes.
Yeah, Big Sean, I guess.
Yeah, not to be confused with the famous Big Sean, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he invited me to a party, and I went with somebody else. And then I don't know how much this adds into the story, but when we got there, I got ditched basically by my friends. Like I didn't know anybody there. It was his cousin that I had never met. Side story about the cousin. He came to play cards with us one night, and he like changed the music, and it was like whale noises. and like music you would listen to fall asleep. And he went to like another party and he wore a Dr. Pepper shirt and they started calling him Dr. Pecker.
Guys, you gotta hear these whale sounds. New release.
Yeah. So we went to that guy's party. that's that's why I was like I had another friend come with us because I thought, dude, this party might be really like I'm gonna walk in just a bunch of orca noises and
And so you chose your biggest friend.
biggest friend invited me. I just took another guy and they immediately like just go off. Like like Big Sean's hanging out with his cousin and he knows those people, and then the other guy is going and trying to like pick up on women, which you've gone to parties with me. My thing is to usually see how much alcohol I can get here for free before I'm asked to leave.
Really an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet with you.
Basically, how long can I fly under the radar, drinking everybody's stuff? But no, I was like outside, and a girl came out and asked if I wanted to take a shot with her, and brought it, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then asked if I wanted another one inside. So I went inside. We took another shot. We talked, completely casual, nothing weird, and I went back outside. And then Big Sean comes up and starts telling me that I need to stop hitting on everybody's girlfriend. So I guess there was one guy there who got upset because his girlfriend was talking to me. And then the rest of the evening was kind of awkward with this guy, where he just kept like smarting off to me, or I'd say something and he'd be like, yeah, that's really funny.
I like to think there's just whale noises going on in the background of this. Is like, yeah, you're real cool, dude.
So
Aww.
so I was getting heckled all night by this guy basically. And like the party starts winding down and we're in the garage playing beer pong and there's only a few of us left and there's like a lesbian couple on the couch. And of course, Big Sean, you know how he is where it's like he's not trying to be like weird, but he's weird. And he goes up to him and he's like, "Oh, how long have you guys been together?" and stuff like that. And I'm watching the guy that's heckling me because we're playing beer pong with him. And I'm also watching Sean because it's like, what are you gonna say, man? And it's all like very like, yeah, oh, how long have you been together? Where do you guys live? Stuff like that. And it's like, okay. And then all of a sudden he goes, so I'm just curious, do you ladies scissor? Because I saw on a TV show and dude, I just like the friend that was with us started laughing.
Uh,
I'm just staring with my mouth open and put my arms out. Like, what are you doing? And they just go, no. So you watch South Park? Yeah, but I was just wondering in real life.
he has impeccable timing.
Yeah. And now remind everybody this is not the shot on the podcast. Do not want to get them confused.
No, no, we love Other Sean. I wish he was here.
Yeah. But no, that was my South Park story because I just remember being like, dude, I want to leave. Like I didn't even say it, but it was the secondhand embarrassment and they got quiet because they were super talkative and nice. And then I saw him strut over there and thought, oh no.
Yeah, let me just impress these people with my knowledge of a cartoon. This is the only thing I know about, and let me verify some of the things going on in this again cartoon. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, that was and I was supposedly the problem at the party. Like because the other guy was literally going around trying to hit on people's girlfriends. Sean's bringing up sex acts, and then I was just there trying to play beer pong and have a good time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when there's whale sounds and Big Sean, just count me out.
He does make the whale noise.
Yeah, what's actually the music? It was just him.
No, it was a fun party before that. I had fun, except for having to watch my friends. Make sure there's no faux pas. So yeah, I think that was my South Park story. And I do remember that episode came up a lot after that happened.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of grotesque things about South Park. Which again, it's of its time, and like the reasons that they were doing it was because they were just trying to be something totally different, and at the time it was. But now it feels like everything is kind of like South Park, and edgy comedy is the thing. So it's just kind of has lost a lot of punch in its later years.
Yeah, and once you kind of lose your, I mean, because that edginess was their edge that they had over other cartoons.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, being on Comedy Central, they could get away with a lot more. But I think just over time, you can only go so far. And with, like you said, other social media, whatever, what have you, shows all getting edgy, it's like you can only push it so far where I think you just hit a point where now it's kind of like a little cringeworthy. Where it's like, I feel like there's no story here. You're just trying to push it as far as you can.
Yeah, if you push it too far, it's like, where do you go from here? And so, like, the perfect episode is like when they say shit, I don't know, like 300 times in 30 minutes,
Oh,
which, like, the first time is like, whoa. And now it's like, I don't want to watch this again. Like, this kind of like a rerun. I'd be like, I'll check out what's going on Family Guy or something.
yeah, you don't watch Family Guy anymore?
Oh, I watch a lot of Family Guy. I was trying to be reserved by saying how much TV I watch.
Oh.
I was really raised by television.
uh, I think the cartoons I still watch are King of the Hill, Bob's Burgers, and American Dad.
Yeah, those are great.
I'm still a cartoon guy, I guess.
Yeah, no, I love the animation. I think voice acting, I think what you can do with cartoons is like really fun for like my sense of humor and what I'm used to and like what I enjoy watching. But like I people think I'm a well-read man. I've just watched a lot of television that reference things.
Dude, that's how I get through life.
I've never read Shakespeare. I just know it from The Simpsons.
Yeah, basically that's what I do. Like I'll hear something and be like, no, I just know it because they made a joke about it. Season 8, episode 7. That's what I was just our conversations where it's like so many Simpsons references.
Yeah,
And that's what I was telling Maddie. I was like, he's the only one that like gets every reference that I make. Like, yeah, none slip past the goalie.
TV has ruined my life.
So, do you think they gamed it?
They absolutely gamed it to death. They gamed it so hard. I'm very impressed by it. And honestly, I wouldn't be mad if they tried to make another game. Like, actually, no, they have made a bunch of other games.
I was looking into maybe getting one of those or something, but I don't know. It's just I don't think it's gonna hold up to this. I can't say that for sure because I haven't tried them, but it's just I don't know. This game's kind of got some magic to it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, just like all the games you're playing, it's the nostalgia factor. That's what really does it. I'd love to give it to like my 11-year-old nephew and just be like, "Hey, what do you think? What do you think of this game?" And he's probably gonna hate it.
And the look of it, like with the graphics and stuff, doesn't. But I think it looks good for what it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's 3D, and like again, it's fully lived in, and they didn't just do cookie cutter multiplayer levels. Everything's kind of like has a nice flow to it, but like a lot of games for multiplayer, like oh, it has to be symmetrical, so there's never an uneven side to it. It's like this one's like, hey, if you can take King of the Hill, take it because you killed me like 20 times. I was like, well, I want to try the single player.
Um, yeah, like I think that for its look too, and it's not just because of the expectation of it. It does look really good because not to keep shitting on GoldenEye, but I played that and it's like it doesn't look good either because
No.
it has like real people quotations.
Yeah.
But this one it's like it looks good because you're doing it perfect with the cartoon and the fogginess.
Yeah.
So they just use fog if it gets too far instead of making it look like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just still a great game. I think Nine Snowballs.
Nine
I
snowballs.
I love this game.
Nine snowballs and two cow shots.
Yeah,
And one singing and dancing alien ray gun.
that's my favorite. I
Yeah.
forgot about that one too. That's it. Well, and the cheats.
And the cheats. Yeah. Yeah. We looked up the cheats. Bobby Bird for the master cheat for all of these.
Yeah, I beat it. I beat it straight up like a gentleman the first time. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that you had to have like the codes for the characters or whatever.
Hmm.
I forgot about that. So yeah, Bobby Bird.
Bobby Bird. Shout out to whoever Bobby Bird is.
I hope he's listening.
I really hope so. And we want to know why you are the master cheat to unlock all of the cheats in this game. Very confusing.
Well, South Park is a game that I would say check out definitely. Yeah, it was worth the $30 for me, and that's 2001 money, I think.
Yeah, that's like $1,000 now.
We were supposed to be on the moon. Well, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm just super happy to be here. I hope I get to do it again. And number one pug is signing off.
Well, I'd like to thank you for your support and everything sincerely. It's it's just nice to have some support when you're going out into something that you're not used to or comfortable with. Because yeah, this is kind of a adventure for me to try it out. And you and my other friends and anybody else who's listening, I appreciate the support. Because I try to go on my own personal Instagram and get people to listen. And yeah, I saw people looked at it, but nobody listened. Local pyramid schemes get more support than I do.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not listening, how would you know about Lawnmower Man?
Yeah,
I've watched it twice in the past month.
I I brought back Lawnmower Man, and it seems like I brought back Blues Brothers 2000 with Sean and Beasley, because
Yeah,
people have been talking about Beasley, so I'm bringing back things from the dead, and
they're,
nobody cares.
they're gonna have to start paying you residuals at some point.
And yeah, I don't know. People take photos going to the gym, and they get more support than me. They get thumbs up. I don't even get a thumbs up, and it's like, dude, if a gym is within walking distance, you don't even need a driver's license. This podcast takes way more effort than posting a gym photo. So if I post this again, maybe think about that.
Well, think about this too. There's no fan on. We had to turn off the AC. I am sweating more than I usually do in the gym.
Yeah, no, it's really terrible in here. But thanks for suffering through it. Anybody who's listening, thank you for listening. And join me next week when I play Barton Fink on the Nintendo GameCube. Until then.
No, it hurts, it hurts. Game over, man.